Continuing our reading in Poppy and Ereth by Avi. Today is chapter 14, Poppy and Lucy. As Poppy plunged, she felt a sharp pinch on her back. She was no longer falling. Gasping for breath, heart pounding, she twisted around and looked up. Lucy was holding her. "Miss Poppy," said Lucy, "are you sure you can't fly?" "Really, I can't," Poppy managed. "Then how come you keep finding you up in the air?" asked Lucy. "I mean, how do you get there?" "I was going up, but then I fell," Poppy explained. "No offense, Miss Poppy, but Mom is always saying, 'Lucy, you shouldn't decide which direction you want to go, up or down.'" Poppy sighed. "I'd like to go down." "Okay," said Lucy. The bat glided down to the floor of the cave and set Poppy loose. Poppy stood up on weak hind legs and looked about. The light was softer now, and Lucy was nowhere to be seen. "Lucy," Poppy called. "Over here." Poppy turned. Lucy was hanging upside down from one of the stone cones. "Well, I don't understand," said the bat, as if hanging upside down was a perfectly normal way to have a conversation. If you can't fly, how did you manage to get up so high on the wall?" "I climbed." "Climbed? Well, why would you ever do that?" "I was trying to go home," Poppy admitted, slightly embarrassed. "Oh, please don't go home yet," said Lucy. "I told everybody about you. They want to meet you. We never have visitors. Would you be willing to meet some of them before you go?" "Can I walk?" Poppy asked, greatly comforted that Lucy had at least acknowledged that she would be leaving. "Much better to fly." "What time is it?" "Almost noon," said Lucy. "Promise not to drop me?" Lucy giggled. "Miss Poppy, no offense, but you're the one who keeps falling." "All right, then," said Poppy. Lucy spread her wings, dropped down, gently pinched Poppy's furry back, and lifted the mouse into the air. In moments, the two were flying through the cave. Now Poppy could see that the cave was much bigger than she had imagined, filled as it was with endlessly strange shapes and formations. It also extended in countless directions, like the branches of a tree. Lucy, however, seemed to know exactly where she was going. She swooped, turned, and entered a dark tunnel, emerging at the other end into a spectacular space, a great domed area with golden arrows of light streaming down from above. The beams shone on an almost perfectly round lake, its blue-green surface eerily translucent, and surrounded by a beach of what appeared to be white sand. "Where does the light come from?" Poppy asked. "Small holes in the cave roof," replied Lucy. "Old Wing says this place used to be a volcano." "Who's Old Wing?" "Our leader. Anyway, we can fly in and out up there, but it's easier to use the big entryway." "Where do you all stay?" asked Poppy. "Look around," cried Lucy. Poppy looked and saw the walls of the cave were covered with bats, huddled together upside down, clinging to the walls. She could hear a multitude of squeaks and rustling noises. "Welcome to my home," said Lucy as she glided down to the beach. "Is this sand?" Poppy asked. "Salt," said Lucy. "Salt? I must tell Ereth," thought Poppy, only to be distracted by a great fluff and flutter of leathery wings as a large number of bats dropped down all around her. As they landed, they drew their wings up to their ears and hunched over, their beady bright eyes focused on Poppy. Like Lucy, these bats were covered with brown fur. They had stub noses on flat, dour faces and large, pointy, twitching ears. Wanting to show her good manners and friendly intentions, Poppy sat up on her hind legs, smiled, took a deep breath, and in her most cheerful voice said, "Hi, my name is Poppy. I'm a deer mouse. I live in Dimwood Forest." The bats stared at her with their bright eyes. Now and again, ears flicked, and occasionally one of them opened a mouth as if yawning. That's when Poppy noticed the bats' teeth and how sharp they were. That's the end of chapter 14.